He's the most hyped quarterback prospect since Patrick Mahomes. A Heisman winner, a social lightning rod, a franchise savior. To some, he's a generational talent. To others, he's an overhyped brand with painted nails. But one thing is certain, Caleb Williams has never followed the script. This is the story of how Caleb Williams rose to stardom, faced an unforgiving NFL system, and why, despite all the pressure, he's still poised to become the next face of the league. Caleb Williams was born November 18, 2001, in Washington, D.C., and from an early age, it was clear he wasn't normal. His father, Carl Williams, approached Caleb's development with precision. Private quarterback coaching, film sessions, strength training, all before he could drive. He starred at Gonzaga College High School, where he threw for 37 touchdowns in his junior year and led a legendary comeback victory over DeMatha in 2018 that ended with a Hail Mary to win the WCAC title. That game put him on the map. He was the top dual-threat quarterback in the 2021 class, a 5-star recruit, and he committed to Oklahoma. There, he would become the future sooner than expected. In 2021, Spencer Rattler was the guy at Oklahoma, but when Rattler struggled, Caleb came off the bench against Texas and erased a 21-point deficit. The moment wasn't too big. It was the beginning of a new era. He finished the season with 1,912 yards, 21 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions, showing elite off-platform throwing, command of Lincoln Riley's offense, and the ability to lead under pressure. When Riley left for USC, Caleb followed, marking one of the most high-profile transfer moves in modern college football history. And in 2022, he exploded. 4,537 yards, 42 touchdowns, 5 picks, a Heisman Trophy, highlight plays that drew Mahomes comparisons. But it wasn't just his game, it was his brand. Caleb inked NIL deals worth over $2.5 million, beats by Dr. Fanatics, even his own apparel. He wasn't just a quarterback, he was a marketable figure. But with the spotlight came scrutiny. USC's 2023 season didn't go as planned. The defense was a disaster. The offensive line broke down, and yet Caleb still finished with 3,633 yards, 30 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. Against Washington, he accounted for 312 yards and 3 touchdowns, and still lost. After the game, a now viral photo showed Caleb crying in the stands with his mom. It was raw, real, and it was weaponized. Critics called him soft, immature, more influencer than leader. He skipped the bowl game. He skipped the combine. And by the time draft season rolled around, scouts and talking heads were already poking holes in his legacy. He's not a leader. He's too Hollywood. He's never won a championship. But for every hot take, there was truth in the film. Elite vision, pocket feel, creativity, and arm talent that couldn't be denied. On April 25, 2024, the Chicago Bears selected Caleb Williams with the #1 overall pick. And just 8 picks later, they doubled down, selecting standout Washington wide receiver Rome Odunze at #9 overall. The Bears weren't just picking talent. They were building a new era of offensive football. Caleb and Rome would enter the league together as quarterback and receiver, with a chemistry they would develop from day one. It was a statement. The future of the Chicago Bears would be homegrown. The franchise had never had a 4,000-yard passer, never had a true franchise QB. Now they were handing the keys to a 22-year-old and pairing him with a top 10 receiving talent known for his route running, toughness, and elite body control. The organization committed to him fully. They traded Justin Fields, built around Caleb with intent. But the rookie season wasn't smooth. Offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, brought in to replicate his work with Geno Smith, was fired during the season after the offense failed to find consistency and rhythm. Caleb still showed glimpses of greatness: 3,541 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 62.5% completion rate. Rome Odunze showed flashes too, despite growing pains, finishing his rookie year with 58 receptions for 787 yards and 5 touchdowns. The duo showed promise, but the team finished 6-11, and the pressure to overhaul the staff was immediate. In 2025, the Bears went all in. New coaching staff: head coach Ben Johnson, formerly the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. Offensive coordinator Declan Doyle, promoted internally, previously tight ends coach for the Saints. Defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, former head coach of the New Orleans Saints, bringing years of experience and a reputation for building aggressive, disciplined defenses. Ben Johnson isn't just a coach, he's a play-designing mastermind. In Detroit, he built one of the NFL's most efficient and creative offenses, turning Jared Goff into a top 10 passer and unlocking young stars like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta. Now he's tailoring that system to Caleb Williams, and they've reinforced the trenches. Joe Thuney, all-pro guard signed from Kansas City. Drew Dahlman, top 10 graded center from Atlanta. Jonah Jackson, former Lions LG, reunited with Ben Johnson. With an upgraded offensive line, the Bears are finally prioritizing protection, and they've added even more firepower in the passing game. Colston Loveland, dynamic tight end drafted out of Michigan, known for his athleticism and reliable hands. Luther Burden III, explosive wide receiver from Missouri, bringing speed and after-catch ability to the offense. With wide receivers DJ Moore and Rome Odunze leading the charge, and new additions like Loveland and Burden, this offense has firepower. Add in DeAndre Swift at running back and Cole Kmet at tight end, and Caleb has weapons across the board. The 2025 Bears aren't rebuilding. They're ready. And that's not just on offense. Defensively, Chicago has quietly built one of the most complete units in the NFC. They've added veteran presence and pass rush punch with Grady Jarrett, a former Pro Bowl defensive tackle from Atlanta, and Dayo Odeyingbo, an ascending edge rusher who brings versatility to the line. They're anchored by all-pro linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, disruptive interior lineman Gervon Dexter, and edge rusher Montez Sweat, who finished last season with double-digit sacks. The secondary is headlined by emerging cornerback Tyreek Stevenson and veteran Jalen Johnson, one of the most consistent lockdown defenders in the league. With Dennis Allen now calling the shots as defensive coordinator, expect a disciplined, veteran-led approach, emphasizing sound fundamentals, zone disguises, and situational awareness. Allen's experience as a head coach gives him the ability to lead a unit that can be both technically sharp and opportunistic. The Bears have the pieces to force turnovers and give Caleb more possessions and more chances to shine. Let's talk about this quarterback class. Jaden Daniels took the league by storm in his rookie season with the Washington Commanders, leading them to a stunning 12-5 record and an NFC Championship game appearance against the Philadelphia Eagles. His dual-threat ability shined on the big stage, and while questions still exist about his long-term consistency as a passer, his debut year was historic. Drake May started for the Patriots, but New England's offense struggled to find rhythm all season. May flashed potential, but dealt with growing pains behind a struggling offensive line as the Patriots limped to a 4-13 finish. J.J. McCarthy was expected to lead a playoff-caliber Vikings roster, but an early season injury sidelined him for most of the year. Veteran Sam Darnold stepped in and led Minnesota to an impressive 14-3 record, making it tough to evaluate McCarthy's trajectory just yet. Bo Nix found early success with the Denver Broncos, posting a solid 10-7 record in his rookie campaign. While not overly flashy, he was efficient and managed games well. Michael Penix Jr. took over for an injured Kirk Cousins midway through the year in Atlanta, but only started 3 full games. He showed flashes, but the Falcons struggled to a 5-12 record overall. Compared to all of them, Caleb's 3,541 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions on a 5-12 Bears team came in a far more scrutinized, chaotic environment. And he still looked like the most talented quarterback on the field most weeks. And perhaps the most symbolic moment of his rookie season? Caleb finally beat Green Bay. The Bears had long been haunted by the Packers, year after year of disappointment, heartbreak, and frustration at the hands of Rodgers, Favre, and the Lambeau mystique. But in Week 18, with nothing on the line but pride, Caleb delivered. He threw for 148 yards and a touchdown, leading a late-game drive that set up a game-winning 47-yard field goal by Cairo Santos to edge the Packers 24-22 at Lambeau Field. It wasn't just a win. It was a moment that marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. For Chicago fans, it meant everything. Beating Green Bay was more than a victory. It was a declaration. The most important rivalry in football might finally be turning in the Bears' favor. Caleb is in a class of his own, and here's why. He's the most complete passer of the group. His mechanics are crisp, with a quick, compact release that allows him to deliver throws from any platform. Unlike May or Daniels, he doesn't need a perfect pocket to produce. His anticipation is advanced for a second-year player. He throws guys open, not just to them. You see it on deep crossers, boundary fades, and timing routes, balls coming out before the receiver even breaks. His pocket awareness is already elite. Despite being pressured constantly as a rookie, Caleb rarely took sacks just for the sake of it. He moved subtly, reset his base, and extended plays with his legs, not to run, but to buy time. That's what Mahomes does. That's what greats do. He processes defenses pre- and post-snap like a veteran. He's shown he can manipulate safeties with his eyes, adjust protections, and find hot reads when blitzed. Most young QBs take years to master that. Caleb is ahead of schedule. And now, he finally has a system designed to amplify those strengths. Ben Johnson's offense is built around space, timing, and vertical stress. With DJ Moore and Rome Odunze stretching the field, Colston Loveland working the seams, and Luther Burden III destroying mismatches underneath. Caleb has every tool to dissect defenses from the pocket or on the move. Then there's leadership. He's maturing. Coaches have praised his work ethic. Teammates call him magnetic. And this offseason, he's reportedly been one of the most vocal leaders in camp, owning mistakes, encouraging growth, setting tone. The Bears believe in him. The city believes in him. ESPN's latest projections have Caleb throwing for 4,400 yards and 33 touchdowns in 2025. He's quarterback 10 in most fantasy rankings. Analysts like Mina Kimes and Dan Orlovsky have him pegged as the breakout star of the season. Most QBs entering year 2 are still figuring things out. Caleb, he's already preparing to dominate. The league is watching, and he's ready. In a league where most QBs are molded by the system, Caleb Williams is trying to break it. He's not perfect, he's not quiet, but he's authentic, and he's built to lead. From DC dreams to Heisman heights, from viral tears to a locker room that believes. from draft day doubts to building something real in Chicago. This is how a franchise quarterback is born. This is how a city changes its story. And this is just the beginning.